You must understand as a sales rock star that questions are your friend. See, there are two types of ways that you can ask someone a question. You can ask them an open-ended question that requires them to elaborate with an answer, or you can ask them a closed-ended question that requires a simple yes or a no. Open-ended questions open the conversation. Closed-ended questions actually close the conversation. A sales rock star is good at asking open-ended questions. Open-ended questions give the illusion of control. See, people love to talk. So if you give them the illusion that they are controlling the conversation, the solution actually ends up becoming their idea. The right questions will help you lay a roadmap and give you a game plan on what you need to do to help the prospect. Remember, as a sales rock star, questions are your best friend in sales. Here are what questions do and why they're so valuable to a sales rock star. Questions are respectful. Questions actually help you buy some time. Questions help you get some valuable information. Questions keep you in control of the conversation. Questions give you time to change direction, and questions make it actually all about the other person that you're talking to. Let's talk about when is the best time to use questions in sales. See, whenever you need to gather information, ask a question. Whenever the prospect is talking too much and you cannot get a word in edgewise, ask a question. Whenever the prospect is not talking enough, ask a question. Whenever the prospect is backing you in a corner, ask a question. Whenever you encounter a stall or any type of resistance, ask a question. And finally, when you don't know where to go next with a prospect, just ask a question. Here is one of the best lines in all of sales history, and here it is. Let me ask you a question. See, the reason it's so incredible is that it can be used to ask a question or make a statement. By saying the words, let me ask you a question, it's helping you as the salesperson to keep the prospect engaged with you. You could be right in the middle of a conversation, the prospect is being irate or not listening to you, and everything will stop once you say those magic words, let me ask you a question. Using a question to make a statement. So let us talk about a couple of examples of using this as a statement and not as a question. Let me ask you a question, John. Based on your personal needs and your situation, here is what you should do. Here's another example. Let me ask you a question, John. I speak to customers in your position every single day, and here's what I hear from them. See, you can have so much fun with this statement. It can be used to grab your prospect's attention at any time during your conversation by just saying those words, let me ask you a question. As a sales rock star, you should understand the psychology of using let me ask you a question in your sales process. See, psychologically, our brains are wired to stop and listen when somebody says, let me ask you a question. Each time you say the sentence, let me ask you a question, our brains are conditioned to stop and our ears stand at attention. This sentence plays an even more important role in today's world where people have a shorter and shorter attention span. Let's talk about the 50-50 rule when it comes to sales. See, there's this rule that's been taught in sales called the 70-30 rule. This says that the prospect should be talking 70% of the time and the salesperson should be talking about 30% of the time. That's not the correct way to have a two-sided relationship. The sales rock star actually challenges that rule by calling it the 50-50 rule. See, this rule says the prospect should be talking 50% of the time and the salesperson should be talking the other 50% of the time. This is the only way that you can accomplish the 50-50 rule and be a sales rock star is to constantly be asking questions so the prospect is invited to participate in the sales experience with you. It becomes a relationship when both people are talking the same amount of time.